It says I am live now. What is happening, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday night of the grind. I was not here last week, as you all know. We had some stuff come up, and with Sunday being Mother's Day, I took the night off. We went and had dinner and did some stuff that we needed to get done. Spend some time with the family, um, just doing our thing. But anyway, um, I've got um, I've got a pretty cool show. Another informative show, no interviews, no nothing like that. Um, but anyway, let me get started with our sponsors. So, first up tonight is our over at Jade Affiliated, jadeaf.com on the interwebs, and Jade Affiliated on all of the social media platforms. What do? They make custom motorcycle wheels. Some of the best wheels you're ever going to get are from Jade Affiliated. Um, I personally am using the Walter White on my new build. But Jad is such a cool dude. Does a lot of cool stuff for us, and he's such a blessing in the industry. You guys got to get over to jadeaf.com and order you up some wheels, man. Next up, good old American Drag Seats, americandragseats.com. If you need a custom motorcycle seat, whether it's a chopper, a bobber, a bagger, it doesn't matter. You send us a pan, we'll foam it, we'll cover it. You don't have a pan, bring your bike to us. We can make you a pan, foam it, and cover it. You got a stock Harley seat, we can shape the foam, do the stuff, whatever you need to get done, get you a new seat on that bike. We also offer a full line of American Iron Horse motorcycle seats and a full line of aftermarket Harley Davidson seats. So if you need custom motorcycle seats, period, check us out at americandragseats.com and American Drag Seats on all the social media platforms. But anyway, get over there, check us out. We would love to do some work for you. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine, urbanridesmagazine.com. It's real easy, urbanridesmagazine.com. Great magazine. Daniel Roby, I think this man lives at the rallies. Every time I turn around, he's at another rally doing his, walk around. For all the people, he goes live all the time. So if you can't go to the rallies, at least you get the updates, what's going on, all the vendors. I mean, he's just a nice guy, does a great job. But you need to get over to urbanridesmagazine.com and get yourself a subscription to the magazine. You will not be disappointed. Next up, our good friends over at Hopkins Design. Websites. If you need websites, if you need a logo, if you need marketing materials, he does everything from the print, webs, logo designs, photos, videos. He does it all. You have to get with him. Hopkins-design.com. And when you do go see him, be sure and let him know that Kevin with the Grind sent you. He'd appreciate it. And last but not least, our good friends over at hellsspeedshop.com. Hellsspeedshop.com, some of the best, if not the best, flannel shirts money can buy. Period, point blank, the end. I wear them. I love them. I love all the new designs they're coming out with, all the stuff. I have so many of them. It's not even funny. I use these shirts. They are great shirts. You've got to get them. Go to their website, hellspeedshop.com. Check everything out. They do have a storefront now. I don't have the address as of yet, but they have a storefront where you can go in and pick the stuff off the shelves, whatever you need. But you got to go check them out at hellspeedshop.com and hellspeedshop on all the social media platforms. So what is going on, everybody? Mr. Robert is watching. Jason Dempsey, Doug Kahn, Kevin Baird. Man, we got a house tonight. We got some people in the house. If you are watching, please leave a comment where you're watching from. Man, we'd like to know where our viewers are coming from. So tonight's show is been, man, it's been weighing heavy on me here lately because I'm seeing it all over the industry. And it's literally, it kind of blows my mind. So there's two parts to this show tonight. The first part is your company. It's amazing. We all have friends in the industry. We all have friends outside of the industry. Whether you're building custom motorcycles, doing custom audio, paint, if you're doing chrome work, it doesn't matter what you do. And it really doesn't just apply to motorcycles. This is a lot of industries out there. Iridex. But what happens is you get out there, you get your business, you get going, you get your feet wet, work's coming, you're doing okay. You may not be, staying, busy, 10, 12 hours a day, every single day of the week, but you got work coming in. And you get your friends come in. Your friends come in and they're like, hey man, I want you to do this for me. And then all of a sudden you shoot them a price and it's like, okay, well, I really can't afford that. So my whole point for saying this is that I know in the motorcycle seat industry, because I'm a custom motorcycle seat builder, that I have had friends over the last 25 years I've been doing this that have used me to do things. And for the most part, I try to, take care of my friends. They support me. They do this, that, or the other. But here's one thing I don't understand here in the last 5 or 10 years is that people bargain shop. And let me, there's nothing wrong with looking for a good deal. Nothing. But when you go to a company and you're like, hey, I want a custom motorcycle seat, as an example. And you're like, okay, well, it's going to cost you $950. Holy crap, man. What do you, $950 for what? For what? What? I mean, God, what are you covering it in gold? No, I'm not covering it in gold. Let me explain this to you real fast. If you own a business and you charge an even $100 an hour, okay, $100 an hour. Let's say you have a customer come and they just want to recover, just simply recover a Harley Davidson touring seat. It's got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels that you have to sew together to do a seat. Now, if I say for a 2-up seat stock Harley replacement seat, I want to do $650. Materials nowadays have gone up exponentially, but they've been going up since 2004. And you can see it. I mean, I can show you invoices because I'm one of those weird business owners that keeps my paperwork for years and years and years. Technically, you only have to keep the last 7 years, but I can go back 10, 15 years with some of my invoices, and I can show you what I paid for materials. But anyway, let's get back to it. $650. That's 6.5 hours of labor if I charge $100 an hour. Now, first thing you have to do is take off the cost of those materials. And let's just say the materials cost you $50 whole dollars and your thread, okay? $50. You're going to recover. Now you've got 6 hours to do it because you can't, you got to have to spend some money to make some money. So now you got 6 hours. So you take this customer seat in, and you undo all the staples, and God, I hate Harley Davidson for stapling all their stuff together. It is freaking horrible popping all those staples out because it's the proper way to do it. You could take a razor blade and just and cut it right off, but then you got all these staples on the bottom. It looks like crap. I don't do that. I take the time, take all the staples out, then I pull the cover off, and I rip every single one of the stitches out of the pattern, lay the patterns down, and then I lay it out on the materials, cut out the materials, put the backing foam on the materials, and then I sew it all together. Then I take it downstairs and I rewrap the seat. Now, I will tell you, I've been doing this for over 20 years. And if you want me to do a motorcycle seat, it's going to take me roughly 8 hours, an entire day to cover one motorcycle seat. Now, is that because I'm too slow or is that because I'm too meticulous? Well, back in the day when I first started this, it took me that long, but I've gotten better at what I do and better and better and better. So I get the seat done in 8 hours. So if you were to divide 600 by 8, I'm going to do a rough guesstimate of uh, 70 bucks. Okay. $70 an hour is what you're making. Now, out of that $70, if you're self employed like I am, a solid 31% comes out of that. Okay. 31% of $70 is, well, let's just see. So 30, so $25, $26 is about what you're going to be looking at taking right off the top. And that's just for your taxes. Okay. Now you take, and you've got, what do you got left? 40 dollars an hour you've made. Now take what that number is, which is going to be roughly $400, and you divide that out by 8 hours. Okay, that's $50 an hour. Okay, but the part of that you don't understand is the cost of the lights to keep the lights on, the cost of all the incidental materials like the glues and the staples and the tools and all this stuff you got. So by the time you're actually done doing this seat, you might be making $20 an hour. Your friends come up and they're like, "Hey man, I want to get you to do my seat." "Oh, but nah, man, 650 is just way too expensive." What would you have me work for? Should I work for minimum wage and that would make you feel better? Because here's my biggest complaint with it. People, especially in the motorcycle industry, I can pick and choose all these different little trinkets and bullshit that people make. And they will pay out the ass for these things. But they want to negotiate the price of a custom paint job. They want to negotiate the price of a custom seat. They want to negotiate the price of custom metal work. Oh my God, it can't take that long. One of the main people that I've enjoyed speaking with over the last 5-6 years is Doug Kime with Creative Cycles. When he talks to me, he breaks things down in such a way that even over the last 25 years, 27, 28 years that I've been in business, he helps me understand other aspects. So when you learn what it actually takes to run a business and you learn what the cost of your overhead and all this, that, and the other is, and you really break it down into an hourly rate, man, if someone like me that's been doing it for so long, if we can clear a nice even $25 an hour, we're doing very, very good. But what gets me is that, especially with motorcycle seats, now I'm going to be a little biased here because I've had it happen to me 3 or 4 times. I've had 3 or 4 people come to me and be like, "Hey man, I built this bike and blah, 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 blah. And I need a custom seat because, I did the big gas tank kit. I did the fender kit, the sides, all that. Man, you ought to hear the stereo system we're going to be putting in this thing, man. It's 5,000 watts and it's got 6 speakers and it's blah, 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 blah." And then the one part that they sit on that they enjoy, they complain that, man, $950, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 to do a custom seat that's only made to fit that bike, and then do a really intricate stitching pattern, which is funny to me because even like diamonds, if you want to do a diamond pattern in a seat, it takes so long to just do a nice straight diamond stitch because you have to start at a point and stitch it, cut the thread, tie the thread up, and then you got to do that for every single one of the lines of the diamonds, and it eats up so much more time. And people are like, "Man, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money." Well, dude, you just dropped almost $10,000 on a custom stereo. You just argued with a painter that's going to paint this bike to make it stand out in a crowd. You argued with him over $5,000 or $6,000 custom paint job. What do you want? Do you want these expensive, lavish toys for free? Are you kidding me? If we're charging too much, whether it's the seats or the paint or the custom, then do it yourself. And then once you do it yourself, then you can come back and tell us how wrong we are, how we screwed up, how we're getting over on y'all, because it's not happening that way. What we're trying to do is make a nice, honest paycheck for what we do. And if I'm good enough at it to get a custom seat done in 3 or 4 hours, but I'm still going to charge you $600 or $700, be grateful that I've put in the years and the years and the years and the years learning and honing that craft to know that craft and that product is going to be really, really good. It drives me absolutely insane. I gave three quotes this week on motorcycle work: a new front wheel, rebuild the front forks, new handlebars, new rear tire. The total bill was like $3,400. And then when I gave the customer the quote, that's a new 21-inch fatty spoke with, a brand new tire, with brand new handlebars installed, with a brand new rear tires, and it was $3,200. We were spending over $2,000 just on the parts. We were literally charging 10 hours to do all that work, and it was still too expensive for somebody, which blows my mind, because you have a custom bike and you're wanting to customize it more for yourself, but you don't want to pay someone to do it. And then if you don't know what you're doing, mechanically, because there's a lot of people out there that are not mechanically inclined and they can watch YouTube and figure things out. You can't, but you take the liability into your own hands. Shit, it's St. Patrick's Day again? No, I just stopped. I typically wear gray and red, but tonight I just wanted to wear some green. I got green. And yes, for those that know me true, my shoes do match the rest of the outfit. But anyway, that's for another story. But my whole point is with this is that, yeah, and see, that's the thing, Sam, is that no homie hookups. It's almost like people don't respect what you do, but they want you to respect their money. And Derek has the best t-shirts out there. This shit costs money. It does. And if you want something custom, and if you want something so unique that no one else has it when you pull into the rally, you're going to pay for that custom. You're going to pay for that uniqueness. Painters, I will not, let me repeat to you guys, I will not learn painting. The reason I won't learn it is because I would get into so many arguments with people, because people think painting is so easy. And yes, we have that little group of guys, the Rattle Can Mafia. But in the real world, doing paint on a motorcycle, it's not just spray painting something. You got to get the panels straight. You got to get the bodywork right. You got to get the primer correct so that it adheres properly. You got to get your base coats on properly. Even if you're just doing one single color, I don't see how painters make money doing that stuff, because everybody complains about the cost of a paint job. Why can't I take it down to Earl Scheib? Well, take it to Earl Scheib. They're not going to do bodywork. And I know this for a fact, and I wish I still had the pictures. You get what you pay for. I took a van, a little Astro van, when I had my mobile car wash. A little Astro van. The side sliding door had a dent in it. And the depth of the dent was at least an inch and a half with a crease. You take that over to Earl Scheib and you get you an Earl Scheib quickie paint job that costs you $500. You know what they do? They don't remove the dent. All they do is slap Bondo over the dent until it's smooth, and they paint right over it. They don't even primer them. They actually go out there with like maybe a 90 grit, 150 grit sandpaper, scuff up the existing paint, and they shoot the paint right on top of it, and it sticks and it goes. And if you want that upgraded clear coat, that's another $150, $200 to get the clear coat on it. They don't wet sand color match, all that stuff that you got to do. They shoot the shit right over the red, right on top of it, and then they go back. And I've seen them do it, and they polish that. Whether you've got dirt in it, whether you've got fish eyes in it, it doesn't matter. That's what you're getting. You're getting to pay, you're paying for what you get, which is I'm getting a quick paint job to make this thing look better than it already does. But it's the same thing in the motorcycle industry, dude. I see some of these paint jobs these guys put out, and there's a whole list of them. There's a whole list of them that you can actually list off as these custom painters. I don't see how these guys stay in business with as much as every single custom shop and every customer pisses and bitches and moans about the prices. I don't see how the painters stay in business, because it seems like every time they turn around, a customer is trying to cut their price down. Oh, come on, man, give me the hookup, dude. Dude, I'm going to bring you more work. I'm going to bring you more work. Dude, you can't control someone else. All I can do is the best freaking paint job I can do on your bike, so that when people see that paint job, then they want to go to whoever painted that bike. And then 90% of the time, those guys are still going to piss, bitch, and moan, the price is too high. Or in some people's cases, you can't do it fast enough. But perfection takes time. It takes time. You can't rush the process. I don't care how good you are. You cannot rush the process when you paint. Just like when you do motorcycle seats. Do you know they have materials out there, for those that don't know? There's materials out there that are stretchy in every single direction you pull it. You can take that piece of material, and if you glue it to the foam, in one place, you can stretch it and then glue it again and glue it again and glue it again and glue it. And you can cover a motorcycle seat like a Harley touring seat in one piece of vinyl. But here's the funny thing. Have y'all ever seen what foam does when you put pressure on it? It moves. Foam moves. So you end up with this twisted monstrosity if you use that material. But the reality is, you can use that material and you don't have to do any sewing, any patterns, no nothing. You just got to glue the shit out of it and stretch it and yank it all over it like they do when they wrap a car. Put some heat on it, stretch it. Put some heat on it, stretch it. And then you can do a motorcycle seat for $100, $150. That's how you do that. Well, guess what, people? I don't do that. I take the time to cut good patterns. I take the time to stitch properly. I take the time to measure and lay everything out. And you can't do that for $150 to $200. So if you're gonna be in the motorcycle game, if you're gonna have a custom bike, you need to understand, when you go to customize that, just because you can't afford it doesn't mean they're not worth it. Just because you can't afford it does not mean they are not worth it. Listen to me again. Just because you can't afford it doesn't mean they're not worth it. It just means you can't afford what they got. That's why there's levels to this stuff. And I love it when builders say, oh, there's levels to this stuff. You're damn straight there's levels. And everybody I hang with can meet every single one of those levels if the people are willing to pay for every one of those levels. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you can take a stock Harley Davidson Road King, you can buy a bolt-on neck, and you can put a 26-inch front wheel on it and be done right there. But you're probably not going to have front brakes. You're probably not going to have a front fender. You're probably not, it's going to look goofy. But you can do just that. And those two parts are extremely easy to put on, bolt on, the whole 9 yards. But it's all the other stuff that you have to do to make that look right and make that operate correctly. And that's where people get bent. They just don't understand there's more to this than just bolting the part on. Even with some of these awesome Insane Asylum bag kits, Silent Cycles kits, all these big name builders kits, you can bolt them all right on. But if you want this shit to look good, they may or may not take a little adjustments that your normal person may not be able to do, may not even understand how to do. They don't understand how the products work or how this or that works. That's where you go to guys that actually do this stuff on a regular basis, that have figured these things out and figured them out typically on what? On their bikes. So now that I'm over that little hump, the next thing I want to talk about is the loyalty with this. The loyalty when you find a good builder, or you find a good seat guy, or a good chrome guy, or a good engine guy, or a good wheel manufacturer, someone like that. How good is your loyalty to that person or that business? Because I'll tell you, when you find people that are willing to work with you, when they're there for you, they take your phone calls, they're there to take care of your issues, you better hold on to them. You better respect them. You better take care of them. Because when you find that, especially in the motorcycle industry, in my opinion, in the motorcycle industry, there is this right here. And I'll get in trouble for saying it. There is zero loyalty in this industry. And what I mean by zero loyalty, you can have one guy take a bike, take it to this shop. And when they take it to that shop, they get some work done there and negotiate the price, do this, that, the other. They get their bike back and they're upset. But wait, hold on. You negotiated everything. So if you negotiated what you were going to pay them, I think they have the right to negotiate the quality they're going to give you. But there's no loyalty in it. Even if, I mean, because that's one of the biggest things I face in this industry. Not that I personally face it, but that I see. Because, dude, let me tell you guys what. I am pretty good friends. And when I say good friends, let's just be real honest. I'm good acquaintances with 90% of the bagger builders, audio guys. They all know me. I know them. I get to hear things over the last 8 years. I get to hear these builders and their stories and how the customer went from this shop to that shop to that shop to that shop. And then you have the fly-by nights, which I'm not going to say any of their names because I don't want to give them the credit, not because I'm afraid, but you got the fly-by nights that they come in, build a bike, and then they think they're the hottest shit on the planet, and then boom, they're gone. Why are they gone? A, because they're in it for the wrong flipping reason, but B, people can see through your bullshit. And just like the customers, and there's a couple of them out there, they want something for damn near nothing. They don't want to see you grow. They're not loyal to you or your pay or your paycheck or your shop. They're not loyal to anything. They're loyal to themselves, and they don't want you. They don't want you to succeed and be better than or have better than what they have. Holy shit, Scotty Roberts said Scrub Cycles. I haven't heard that name in so long it's not even funny. But my whole point is that you not only do you have the reputable good shops that face the same bullshit the small shops do, but then you got the fly-by nights that come in here and act like they're God's gift, and then poop, they're gone. Which leaves everyone cleaning up the mess they made on the bikes they built. But you still don't have that loyalty to get seats done, that loyalty to get paint jobs done, that loyalty to get bikes built, the loyalty for chrome. Everybody's looking for the best, cheapest, low price they can get. That's what they want. And then they want to go to the parking lots and the bike shows and claim they have the best that money can buy. But they weren't willing to pay for the best that money can buy. All they want to do is big pimp. They don't want to support you. They don't want to be loyal to you. They don't want to actually see your business grow. And yes, and the reason I'm saying this is because not because I'm angry at the industry. I'm just telling you guys there's a dirty underbelly of this shit that people don't ever talk about. And I'm talking about it simply because no one else is talking about it. I hear people complaining every day about audio games and about this, that, and the other when it comes to stereo competitions. But there's a whole other side to this stuff just with building bikes, just with doing the paint work, the seat work, the chrome work, the custom fabrication, the this, the that, the other. I love it when I hear people say, my camp, your camp. Is it your camp? And are those customers that loyal to you? Because I don't see the loyalty. And when I say I don't see the loyalty, I don't mean that, like Powerhouse doesn't have loyal customers, or, Keith Barker doesn't have loyal customers, or, you know, Scotty Roberts. I mean, I can name so many of them to you guys. Doesn't mean that they don't have loyal customers, because there's always going to be a degree of loyalty, but it's not as deep as you think it would be. That's the part that I'm talking about. And when you start giving into, which is something that, man, I'm standing on a mountain or a hill right now, and I refuse to come off of it. I refuse to come off of my hill because I know what I'm worth. And I would rather go out of business, shut my shops down, than negotiate who I am. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather just quit and go get a day job doing something for somebody else than negotiate who I am. That's what I wanted to say is, I don't negotiate who I am, what I can do, and what I'm giving you. And I'll be damned if you're going to ask me to negotiate my prices because you don't think I'm worth that. I know what I'm worth. I don't need you to tell me what I'm worth. I know what the people that I support, the people that I promote, the people that I'm friends with, I know what they're worth. And I'm not saying every one of them are the best in the industry. I just know what they're worth, and I agree with that. I align with that. So anyway, I've been kind of up on a hill tonight, a rant. And it's not really a rant, people. What it really, really is stop asking for discounts because you can't afford it. You know what you should do? What you should do is, hey man, what does this cost? Okay, I don't have that much money right now, but if you give me 6 months to a year, I'm going to save my money because that's what it's worth. Powerhouse flavor on a backyard paint budget. That's amen, Sam. Who's got the best deal on this? Well, the real question is, who is willing to make the least on this? See, Scotty, that is exactly right. It's a race to see who can do it the cheapest. But we shouldn't be. What did he say? What's up? What have I missed? Kevin, you cut my shit yet? No, sir, I didn't cut your shit yet. I'm actually going in the morning to cut your shit. I was going to cut your shit today, but today I had to go fight my damn property taxes. May 15th, every year, you got to go. By May 15th, you got to go fight them taxes because you got to pay all these goddamn taxes. Anyway, the cheap shop hopper spends more money in the end. I've seen it a million times. And yes, Brian, you're right. When you chase this and chase that, you're going to eventually get to a point where you're going to spend more money on something because you keep cutting corners and you don't just say, you know what? This is expensive. You get what you pay for. I need to be willing to pay for what I want. Now, here's the other side of that one little coin. Do your research on the shop that you're going to. Not every shop out there that has the tallest trophies is the best shop. Sometimes it's the little guy, may be expensive, but it's the little guy that's got more to prove than the big shops with the big trophies sitting in the shelves. Remember this, the big shops with the big trophies sitting everywhere, they've already proven, they've already done, they've already succeeded. Unless you're spending that super money to no fault of their own, you're not the more important one. They've already paid their dues. They've already done this. So they don't need to prove something to you in that little bit you're bringing to the table. Sometimes give the smaller shops a chance And you may be the person that ends up like, holy crap, I had no clue these guys were that good. I had no clue they could do this. But by all means, do your research on any shop you go to first. Time frames, money, history, do a background check on whatever you got to do. Make some phone calls, check it out. There's no harm or foul getting to know who you are about to get into a situation with. There's no harm or foul in that. Some painters take a really long time to get a product done, but the product is amazing. Some painters get shit done really, 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 really fast, but they're really, 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 really fucking expensive. They get stuff done too. And sometimes you find the guy that's like, hey man, I'm not trying to buy the Taj Mahal, so I'm just trying to make a good living for myself, and I can get things done pretty good for you, and we'll hear you, and we'll take care of you. We'll get you going. Hey man, is that the best you can do? Well, yes, we are busy as hell. Why don't want to put more shit on my guy's plate and make less money? Well, So Shop said they could do it for this. Okay, then why are you here? Amen, Scotty. Amen. Then why are you at my shop? And if you're not afraid to stand up for your own shop because you're afraid of not getting the work, guess what? I'm sorry. You're part of the problem. You're feeding the monster that needs to be killed. You're feeding the monster that needs to be killed. Look, I can name so many shops in Houston. In my opinion, the top 4: Powerhouse, AP Cycles, Audio Hogs, Legacy Bike Works. Those 4. I said it. If you don't agree with me, kiss my ass. That's my opinion. You go to those 4 shops, I highly suspect those 4 shops aren't out there negotiating. We can do it cheaper than those guys. No. I don't call Eric. I don't call Pedro. I don't call Alan. When someone comes to me and asks me for a quote, they're asking me for the quote. If you want to do a price war between me, Eric, Alan, and Pedro, hey man, you can do that on your own. But here's my quote. I don't give a shit. If they want to do it cheaper, let them do it cheaper. Go take it to them. If we're cheaper, bring it to us. But I'm not going to negotiate who I am and what I do just to get your work. I'm not going to do it. You either want me for who I am or you don't. It's the end of the story. But again, people, you got to do your research. You got to take the time to figure out what you want. Opinion that's too much money. Like I said, just because you can't afford me does not mean I am not worth it. It just means you can't afford me. And that sounds so bad when you say it blatantly like that. But it's not. I mean, shit, dude, there's times where I couldn't afford something. I was like, well, shit, I can't afford it, but I want that. So I just sit back and save my money until I can afford that because that's what I want. But anyway, so I'm on to this whole kick and all this stuff. And, there's so many levels to this and so many examples that I could tell you and give you straightforward examples. But then again, people in the industry get their feelings hurt too easy because they're like, oh, you're talking about me? Well, no, but I mean, if you feel like I'm talking about you, then apparently there's something going on in your conscience to make you feel like you're worthy of being talked about. But I can give you examples across the board of almost every single one of the big name builders, product builders, audio guys, where they've been in situations where they were like, oh man, that guy's just too expensive. Or, hey, look, if you don't want to use me, don't use me. I mean, businessmen are businessmen. And if you're stuck in one corner, that's the corner you're going to be in. That's it. I'm still being told I'm expensive and I'm cheaper than anyone in 200 square miles. It in my personal opinion, it has nothing, if zero, nothing to do with your competition. I know custom bike builders that charge $185 per hour. Per hour. That's damn near $200 per hour. So that means if they're going to work, they're making $185 per hour Monday through Friday. And they don't negotiate that. But they're busy. Why are they busy if they're charging almost $200 an hour? Well, it's because they're worth what they're pricing themselves at. And somewhere along the line, people have figured out they are worth it. And to me, kudos, hats off to you. You've proven your worth. Other shops, I mean, when's the last time you guys have been to an automotive dealership and ask, what is your hourly rate? I take my truck to the dealership for oil changes. Not because I'm big pimping and got money, but because that truck was bought brand new. It was the only vehicle in my entire 55 years of living that I've ever owned that was brand new. And I was just like, hey, I'm going to take it there. I'm going to take it there. I'm going to take it to the dealership. Well, it turns out the dealership is actually less expensive per oil change than the Quick Lube is down the street. Plus, it's the dealership. So they have full records on my truck. But if you need to get something repaired, did you know the Dodge dealership right here down the street from my house, their hourly rate is $245 an hour. I was blown away when I heard their hourly rate was $245 an hour. I was like, are you kidding me? What are the mechanics making now? $60, $70 an hour? Nope, they're not. They're making between 30 and 40 bucks an hour. But for those that don't know it, most car dealerships, new car dealerships, make 80 to 90% of their money off of the service department. Didn't know if you guys knew that. But the parts in the service department are what keeps the lights on at a new car dealership. It's not selling new vehicles, because new vehicles, when they sell them, they're not making all that much money per vehicle to sell. And plus, if you look at the numbers on a vehicle, even if they sold 200 vehicles a month and they made $5,000 profit on each vehicle, which they're not, you're looking at what would that be? 50, Jesus Christ. They're only making $1 million a year if they sell a guaranteed 200 vehicles. So it's not making as much money as you think it is, but their freaking labor rate is astronomical. But anyway, I'll get off my high horse. My whole point is that I'm more interested in loyalty, and I'm not going to negotiate who I am or what I'm worth because you can't afford me. And I would implore everybody that watches this show, whatever it is you do for a living, do not negotiate who you are, what your worth is, and try to find those loyal people. Your life will be so much better if you find the loyal people. Now, Scotty just said, let's talk about the build off. You guys want to talk about the build off? I'm here to talk about the build off. So I have been reaching out to the Lone Star Rally, trying to get a hold of the head person in charge to make the decisions. They've got the paperwork. They've got everything on it. I've got emails out there looking for sponsors like you wouldn't believe. As it sits right now today, we have one sponsor, Jad from Jade Affiliated, has donated $1,000 towards a build off. So we do have $1,000 that's going to go to the winner. I am every day looking for sponsors, looking for people that want to invest into this, that want to put the time and the money into it. But as we sit right now, we have one sponsor. That's it, for $1,000. If you're interested and you want to see that number grow, there is a link on my personal page and the Grind page for a GoFundMe. More publicity for this show. Go to the GoFundMe. Donate $5 to it. Donate $10. If you know a company that's interested in motorcycles and what's going on, and they support this stuff, have them go to the GoFundMe and donate $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is. It's so easy because I've left the links up there. I can tell you this. I have seen one. Okay, let me think. Hold on. I'm getting old. I have seen 4 of the build off bikes. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I hope you guys are ready, because these bikes are, I haven't seen the completed projects. I'm just seeing little bits and pieces of progress. And what I'm seeing is amazing. It's just the craftsmanship that's going into this build off. I'm not going to tell you which builders I've seen. I don't want to do that. But I'm going to tell you there's 8 builders and I've seen 4 of the bikes. So I've seen 50% of the bikes. Once I see the other 4, I'm going to be privy to what's going on. But I am so excited. I am literally, just for these 4 bikes, so excited to see what the finished products look like. Is it still 7 shops in the build off? 6, 7. So yeah, 7 shops and 1 independent builder. So 7 shops, 1 independent. So, but I'm telling you guys, I'm getting really excited about it because am I one of the 4? I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that question, Scotty. I'm not going to answer that question because I don't want anybody to know anything that I know. I just want everybody to know that 4 out of the 8 bikes being built, I've physically seen progress on, and I'm super fucking excited. Oh, sorry. I've been trying to curve my bad language. My wife's been getting on to me. But the reason I say I'm excited is because everybody knows it's a bagger build off. And we do know some bikes are going to have audio. Some bikes might not have audio. It's not an audio competition by any stretch of the imagination. This is a build a bike, build it, build that bike, build it. I'm imploring all of the builders to do a live interview with me. I'm imploring them to send pictures, email them to me, send them to me personally. You don't got to send them in the group. Send them to me individually. I won't show anybody anything. I will never show anybody any videos, any pictures. I won't show anybody else between you and me only. If you want to post things on the grind page, your personal page, and link the grind to it, by all means do that. It's up to you. If you want it to be a complete surprise, go ahead. I personally would like to see some teasers and some videos and some things like that so that everybody could start seeing progress from everybody. Okay? But I'm telling you guys, the stuff looks amazing. The stuff looks really, he said, you pussy. Wayne Smith is the independent. He is watching the show tonight. And I'll tell you guys, the only reason I'm not saying of the 4 builders who I've seen is because I don't want anybody to think that I'm influencing anybody in any way. I've seen them because some of the builders want me to see them because I've been doing the show for 8 years or 7.5 years, because I've seen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 build offs, 12 different builders. I've seen what people are doing, maybe to one degree or another. I don't know. They respect my opinion. I don't know, but they're showing me. I'm very thankful that they're showing me. I'm very honored that they've chosen to show me. But I'm just telling you guys, these 4 builders are knocking it out of the park. And it's very, very good. And if you do want to know one of the builders' bikes I have seen, it's Devin with Legacy. But we all know he's my son. So I have to see that bike. I have to walk by it every single day. And I was getting really, 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 really freaking worried up until about 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden, like a Tasmanian devil, he comes in here and just working on other people's bikes, working on that one. And I'm just like, holy crap, I had no idea you were doing that. So yes, Devin is one of the people I've seen, and he is doing a really, really, really spectacular job. And no, I'm not touching it. I'm not. Everything to this point that kid has done, he has done on his own. He hasn't even asked me a question. I know about where he's going with it. Someone set up a damn interview for next week. Listening to Kevin talk about bike shop business is getting boring. It's been beat into the ground already. Shut up, Brian. It's all I got to talk about. But I do agree with you. So go in the group chat and get them guys to get on the interview, because I am very interested in interviewing all of them. Eric, do want to interview Devin, want to interview Cameron. We've done Val, we've done Derek. We need to get Scotty on here, get Scotty interviewed on here. Get Wayne Smith in here to get an interview with him. But yeah, so yeah, I do agree with you, Brian. I do talk about some stuff like that, but the reason I talk about stuff like that is because it's been on my mind and being brought to the forefront over the last month or so. And I keep hearing these tales about these things. And I just wanted to bring it out there because I don't know if people listen when you talk. And I don't know if builders or, painters or seat guys, actually say these things and have these conversations with their customers. I don't know. I mean, I know Brian Barber does, but Brian Barber's, GF is just out the window. He has none. But anyway, you guys go have a kick-ass weekend, a great rest of your night, and we will see you all next Thursday. And hopefully I will have one of those builders lined out and we can do another interview for one of those other builders. But anyway, we will talk to you guys next week. Y'all all have a great night. We'll talk next.